Hopefully the sound's going to be okay here. We've been having difficulties with the sound. We're going to jump right in here because I just really don't play around. So let's get on the right path. I'm going to pop around here for a minute and share some things with you that
They say Aldi Fresh.
radar here.
Salads contain bioengineered food ingredients. Your bagels contain bioengineered food ingredients. Not so fresh. No artificial flavors, but it contains bioengineered food ingredients. Even the granola bars or fruit bars contains bioengineered food ingredients.
I call it the 4 circles of hell. Let's see. Step 1, I see a UFO. That's transport of Astra 3Bs and all the Space Force Semper Super stuff that they've been doing. My parents were in 1969. My dad's draft number was 3. So then bioinformatics and genomics lines you up with vetting, psychic, poltergeist, possession, whatever they can do with your brain. This is the old way of doing it because once we went into the non-invasive neural architecture of N3 and N4, we used neural mesh technology. Your DNA frequency is what broadcasts that biofield. But stay with me, please. This is really important. So the old way of doing it, they had to physically get hold of you. National park disappearances, cryptid interaction, reptar belief, whatever. Why? Wireless tissue engineering and wireless total piezoelectricity control. That's your bone and the vibration it makes, the piezoelectricity. It's the old way of doing it. Why? Hey, I helped build part of the internet, remember? And I was trying to help you understand that hair sin on end problem. Yeah, no, really. We went to software-defined network, and I lose everybody. And they're like, why are you talking about that? Because you're wireless. And everybody right now has a fixed magnet system sitting in their body part. And they didn't tell anybody anything about drone warfare, electromagnetics, nothing. I would know. When I taught in Wisconsin and I opened my office, it's what Synergy.com is. It's still me after all these years. In 1999, I opened my office and worked with the University of Minnesota Pagan Studies Group. They needed people to have something called brain-to-brain interface so they could have synthetic telepathy, nobody else. Structured query language is what backends WordPress. It's also structured query language Hive that uses GitHub style, Hadoop loop, and people upload code playing other humans like Sims. Oh, but they got an app for that. So they still, to this day, will not let people talk about the Havana syndrome. Are you kidding me? 802.15.4 is Zigbee and Bluetooth. And again, I was in January of 1994.
Havana syndrome. Just Google it. I will truly suggest people wrap their minds around what's being shared here.
So they used kids. That's what that whole Synergy.com is from 1992 forward. They used children to figure this tech out. They didn't tell anybody nothing. I mean,
they used what? She ain't talking about baby goats, people.
That panic never happened. It was a hysterical reaction to all the spinal damage, the lack of albumin production. Hang on, I want to show one other slide here, so to speak, before I get to the other part of this. First, it was fibromyalgia. It's fake pain. It's always your fault. Then it was pseudotumors and pseudoseizures and lupus, Lou Gehrig's disease, and all the autoimmunes. They can never be fixed. It's your immune system. Well, that's amazing. 80% of the immune system is in the human biofield, generated by the oscillation of our DNA structures and all the PHAGE states of our cells.
Biofield, bioengineered food. Just giving you a little hint there, guys.
You think they might know that? Yeah, I bet they do. Since 1911 and before, yeah, we've had autonomous drones since 1854. Okay. So then we have fake nano diseases. Oh, actually, they're not fake. World Health.
In case you can't wrap your mind around drones in 1854, what was Tesla working on? Wireless technology.
Organization, been around since 1654. Yeah, and then cancer, let other people talk about that because they have more information of how it's a big hoax. And then sudden adult death syndrome, heart attacks and strokes are normal, pseudo heart attacks, pseudo stroke. So Blue Water people know all this stuff. You guys have been through it. So what happened to you, in my opinion, was y'all got sucked up in the original circles of hell, because I come from the original healing touch and therapeutic touch community, and I learned with people in Wisconsin and La Crosse. And I got news for you. A lot of those people from the real harmonic convergence disappeared. I'm still here. And they used that 9-year-old girl submitting to the Journal of the American Medical Association up until this year. Because I watched constantly. I'm like, why won't they update Wikipedia? Now they have. And I'm going to show you why, Blue Water people, that they need you to stay in these circles of hell and never understand that this body part is a body part, because you'll blow them away. So the people that are strong enough to keep this technology off of them suffer with the nano bio internet of things. Yeah, she got a number.
That's what they're spraying. They call autism neurodivergent. They lack self-control. And as you watch this, it will make more and more sense to you what's being shared here. I want to remind people about the new Bluetooth low energy technology that was just put out. And to put it simple, as it was explained to me, the phone just has to be there. No SIM card, no Wi-Fi, no battery, no nothing. Just the phone needs to be there to triangulate the drones. This is like Gamer coming to life. If any of you have seen the movie Gamer, where they are literally able to take control of people and use them like they are video game characters.
Yeah, the 802.15.4 is 2 fixed magnets. You guys call them etheric parasites. Nah. It's just that you're so powerful with your abilities of your own, fighting against this wireless tissue engineering, depending on where you live, the epigenetics of who you're around, then the bouncing the signal back and forth. And the thing is they've got everybody believing it's a broad signal. It's something that you can, shield from. Yeah, they wanted their people to believe that. None of that is real. This is built off the same technology that everything is around us. And the reason for SRA was because they use human tissue. They use you to route their new internet. And anybody who knew about Disdar's dolls, Russ Disdar, Collins, and the sheriff's department, hiding all this time. They knew this.
The sheriff's department. I want you to catch the key things that she's saying here. And I obviously have to narrate, not that she minds, I'm sure, me putting this out here, try to catch your attention and try to connect the dots for you on why all the bioengineered food on the shelf, which all has to be removed. And if we don't make a move to force the bioengineered food to be removed from the shelves, which you will be in shock, because there will be hardly anything available for you unless you are willing to continue to poison yourself to make the signal stronger. This is a move forward, and every one of you will become a puppet to their technology. Don't believe it? Think it's too far-fetched? Drones in 1854? Tesla's technology that was taken? Wake up, people. Wake up. You wonder why a cop's shooting at an acorn?
But they thought, I'm guessing, non-invasive neural technology connected to satellites that never go down. Yeah, they're called Jesuit VAX stations in UW-Whitewater. The University of Wisconsin-Whitewater is one of them.
Jesuit? Where have I heard that before? This is already out there trying to be dismissed, and by no surprise, by a Brit, which we're going to get to that before I'm done.
So when I worked there and I ran into different pieces of software, I kept them. Just thought, okay, they were going in the big trash heaps, no big deal. I figured it'd be in my library collecting dust. And then I heard Alex Jones talking about how you better hope you've got an old computer. Well, yeah, because the human body is where the data is. Now, when I can go and find the most recent cryptography, stenography-driven binomial algorithms, I used to do math in binary to subnet data sets for the 2-4 dots when I had to bring it from dial-up to broadband. So spare me, okay? I've had to dig that deep in the binomial algorithm tech, and that's where I finally found that the low pan, 6G low pan, is personal area network as defined by conductivity of the human body, not this whole, we grab it from around you. No. The science and tech on body area network, which this is wide body area network, 802.15.6, you are the network. And since 2005, you've been battling the swelling. And again, 802.15.4, it's not etheric parasites. The internet, bio-nano internet of things, is pulling the iron and different minerals and chemicals straight up out of your red blood cells right away, just like it's doing right now. But they're talking about it with backwards. I'm a network tech, so I understand exactly what this is because it's got engineering numbers on it. And then I try to help people understand this is engineered. You need to tell them that's a body part, because when they start playing around with the drone warfare here on CONUS, you're going to have people reacting to with their bodies. When we react with our body, it's like this. You can't, there's too many companies involved, so always 2 plus security. Then there's red versus blue plus.
What we're seeing in the neurodivergent are lack of body control. They'll be hugging you one moment and then smacking you the next. And when the zombie apocalypse goes full tilt, this is my humble opinion. And I was going to say, I think she's way above my pay grade, but I'm trying to simplify a message here. And if we don't make a move to remove the bioengineered food from off the shelves like today, forget tomorrow, forget next week, next month. Oh, we'll get to it. Oh, we'll write our congressman. These are the people that are allowing this to be done to you. These are the people that have sold you out. If you're not feeling sold out by now, And then remember, at the end of the day, there are men and women that are running these companies that are putting this bioengineered crap into the food system so that there's pretty much nothing on the shelf you can buy that isn't bioengineered. It is very difficult, in fact, almost, I would say, impossible to go to the grocery store and buy a food source that is not bioengineered. They're going to get it into you one way or another. They're jibby jab, which, wait a minute, we find out that back in 2015 through Glenn Beck, is owned by the federal corporation. I mean, how many times going to be said that the federal corporation, the Federal Reserve, the money changers, they all need to be dealt with. But right now, you better get the bioengineered crap off the shelves of the grocery stores. And you'll be shocked to find that there's not going to be much for you to eat. Starved into submission, or you will have to self-poison to make the signal stronger. Is this making sense? Maybe it's just some blabbering of some conspiracy theorist, huh? Yeah.
there's security. Then there's NATO. Then there's world oversight on top and with NATO and our NRO and other kind of sortas. Then there's proprietary software that people buy off the shelf and mess with. I'm up to 10 different layers of compression waves because that's what this takes. You are a sack of water and there's no consideration for you at all because you would say, well, hey, give me that remote for my body part. They're not doing that. They sold you to people. Who? Corporations. When? September 10th, 2020, the Artificial Intelligence Symposium presented by our Department of Defense. I encourage you to go read the notes. I took my own on BrinaDawn.com. They are linked there. I went over them a couple times. And now we see on CSER, which is our National Reconnaissance Office news today, I posted, they're still talking about Project Maven. That's because somebody up at the DoD just threw up dirigibles again, I'm sure, knowing that the game is going to be up soon. Because the rods of God and all these things that they were counting on in their Project Echelon are not at their fingertips like they thought they were. The sheriff's departments are dependent on the DISTAR dollies. Well, of course, they're flesh now.
The DISTAR dollies, the sheriff's departments, your local sheriff. You wonder why they're not protecting your rights. You wonder why they're collecting DNA at a pace that you are just not aware of. It's all about getting everyone's DNA. It's all about being able to home in on every life form, you know, the species, the things, the Internet of Things, which you're about to hear about. We are the things.
Networks. And that, one more time, is IEEE 802.15.4 inside the human body, permanent lifetime sensors. SOSA, MOSA. It sounds like drinks, right? No. Sensor open systems architecture, no different than the way we built the internet. Open systems interfaces. So, while you were busy thinking they would never do such a thing, back in 2002, I was doing my job. And I came across this on my friend, and it was remote procedure call. And so what they do is they were putting these sensors in place, because this is 2002. By
And what happened in 2001 in New York?
2005, it was born. What was? Zigbee. And all the routing protocols and the dynamic channel allocation that goes with it to multiplex their signal through your muscle tissue. Yeah, I said muscle tissue. You mean it's that fenestrated? Of course it is. This is security. This isn't a joke. So yeah, and what you do, and this right here that I've written out, just so we are all clear, this is word for word, letter for letter, exactly what the technical documentation says when you go read. Anybody can go read it. It's public knowledge for the reason that it is electrical engineering. And as you read, you will be allowed to do three things. Entertainment applications, the internet is for scorn. Gaming, social networking. And for those of you that think you're going to physically get up and move, you don't know what an electromagnetic is, does, or how it works. That's your biofield. You should talk to somebody who does energy work. They'll let you know. Because that feeling that you think that you thought that you might, that you have, you're not going to be able to get that drone to let go of your electromagnetic field, and it dials you up like it dials a phone. Because you've given your DNA all over the place. And
You've given your DNA all over the place? No, they're taking it. And I want to point out something for you. The new Bluetooth low energy that they have implemented can use any phone. No Wi-Fi, no SIM, no battery, no need, no nothing. And you know what it interfaces with? You guessed it, drones. There. If we don't start fighting back like today, there may not be any fighting back tomorrow, because you might not be able to get up. You might not be able to open your mouth. I don't know how to express to you people that they don't mean us well. And anyway, let her continue. Very enlightening.
no one knew, and bioinformatics is an industry where it was going, and it turned out it was all going back to BlackRock like normal.
BlackRock? The one that owns pretty much everything? How curious.
Were alerted of that earlier this year. And the back end of Space Force and Northcom is COM21 cable modems. I don't know about that, but I do know that the MAC addresses on those COM controllers are very different from anything in an inner city, which was given by Cisco equipment as a DOCSIS piece of equipment that was essentially throwaway as a network, which means the cities can rot and burn, nobody cares.
And what are we watching? The city's rot and burn, and nobody cares. All of your Alexis, all of your security cameras, all of the AI implemented technology that is being dispersed right now. Yeah. You know, I just bought 3 Tapo cams. And once I realized what was going on there, I packaged them back up, put them back in the box, and they're on their way back. There is no way. Your doorbell, Ring, camera, is this all beginning to make any sense to you people? All of the cameras that they're putting up everywhere, all of the, it doesn't even matter. It's beyond the 5G, 6G, it's beyond the towers. We'll let her explain that to you.
So it is my theory that you were at one point stuck in the 4 circles of hell that never came together because nobody could figure out the connection between cryptids being psychic and UFOs, but nobody could get to the bottom of it. Well, no, not until they had full control down to your bone marrow. Piezoelectricity is how we walk around, and that's what powers green energy in the smart grid. Apollo Neuro in its patent reveals some of the new tech, but people just can't relax anymore. Oh gosh, because it's all your fault? Because it's all your fault? Because it's all your fault, right?
Bioengineered, 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 bioengineered. What's going on with all of these little ones with supposed autism? Remember, this has been going on for a long, long time. And when we say there's no one at the wheel, we do mean there is no one at the wheel. You know what Brian with Here's the Deal was given a heads up on why the cop was shooting at an acorn. Well, shooting at the man in the back of the car, thinking that the man was shooting at him with no gun and handcuffs behind his back, stuck in the back seat of a squad car. And this really begins to escape people because it is so far out there that, no, come on. This can't be real. Keep listening. Remember, I don't do this for entertainment purposes, and I don't care if you like, subscribe. All I can tell you is get your own copy of this while you can.
This is all your fault. Well, it's not like you were being subtly electrocuted all those years. Nope. Then you went and reported Jesuit style to your mental health people, and they're right over top of those same low Earth orbit satellites. And that brings me to the big coup de grace. The underground databases are accessible to all these evil people. So nobody went ahead and took them to task. Nobody took anything away. Then they rolled out, in my opinion, the Q-tarded movement because they want people to keep hanging on and believing that they have control. That mathematics that I just described to you is why I do not believe they have any control, along with they're still trying to kill me actively. Our own people and 2 other countries in the last 6 months. Now, I'm nobody. I'm 43. I'm disabled. I'm right here. Why keep that up? Because there's more to this story. It's an interdimensional war, and I'm previously part of that beacon system. And my records are here on Odyssey. You can take a look if you want to. I have no issue with anybody except that I do not believe they're going to apologize to anybody in SRA whatsoever. This is technology. They lied to you. And any of you that are in the super soldier community, in my opinion, if you're still feeding the databases because you're connecting with them, please stop. You should never have a silver cord. Those are D-Wave computers. They're underground. And those plasma cores will subsume humans. The less connectivity, the better. So what's the real problem then? Why am I so upset? Why don't I believe they're going to save us? Why do I think that math is such a problem? Throughout my time since April of 2022, I had no idea how ridiculously cryptographically this was until I saw a February 2022 article from, I think it's Indonesia, and they were discussing how to hide the social digital ID, certain fields within it, slicing, network slicing. So, of course, those of us who play video games, Bioshock, oh, so funny. So 6G low pan, your low energy green power is generated out of the piezoelectricity of you moving around Black Mirror Netflix style. That's real.
The new Green Deal. Are you ready? Are you ready to be a puppet for those that have let this shit loose? It's the new Green Deal. I hope you're ready to keep it green. It's got to be green. Got to be green.
That's that IEEE 802.14.5. If you can't find it, go through my links. You'll find it. So here it is, right? That PAN is a personal area network. She uses your biofield. Yeah, it's electromagnetic in human flesh. That's the new network. Yes. So now what you don't understand, because you're not a network engineer and you're not into math and all that, and you're like, what are you talking about? These nodes, the things that your energy workers have been calling etheric parasites, they feed into the big etheric parasites. They're radio frequency sinks. See, folks, you can't have that whole 802.14.5, or excuse me, 0.6. You can't have this, a wide body area network in which you have all this oversight, the metaverse, the Internet of Things, all this. You can't have it without all those little nodes feeding radio frequency sinks in what? Your body part. The biofield is a body part. The biofield is a body part. The biofield is a body part. So now remember all those companies and people and stuff I listed off? They're not
Bioengineered food. Bioengineered food. Go grab some off the shelf at your local grocery store today, folks. Or maybe it's time to wise up and realize what the hell is going on here and why they're putting bioengineered crap in the food, why everything's bioengineered, why they need your DNA, why they want to have control over everything and everyone. I'm telling you, I am just a conduit here. I am just passing along the information, and what you want to do with it, well, it's that red pill, blue pill moment. You can wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want.
not telling anybody nothing. They're at war.
Yep.
They are not under control.
Yep.
No.
Real.
Just like in the 70s. We have a massive learning curve. It basically dipped out and left. They never told anybody nothing. And I don't think that people with N3 architecture, which would, for those of you following along, Kathy O'Brien's daughter, that would be N3. You can't talk. It's down to your bone marrow and you grow with it that way, whether you're injected or it's done in other ways.
You wonder why all the vaccinated babies are having difficulty. You wonder why autism is at a pace that cannot be explained. Do you want to begin to explain to everyone what is really going on, or are we listening to it right now? Are we getting it?
So I got two people sitting on the couch. Let's say it's my husband and your child, okay, whoever you are listening to me. And you and I are in the kitchen. We're chilling. And I have a small little area here. I don't have much, but my little quail and hobby farm and my two neighbors. And all of a sudden, your husband or wife comes running in with a radio frequency meter, and they're like, we've got an incoming signal, because those signals are tailored to your DNA. They're not going to come off the big radio waves and set off the vax and have some big showdown. That's not how it works. So they come in and they're like, we got to find the signal and stop it. This is what people think. Well, I'll go turn off the tower. I'll cut it down. That doesn't stop the signal. The signal is seeking your DNA. It's hunting your human biofield. So I'll jam the satellite that's sending the signal. I'm sorry. And page 1 inside of this book asserts that those autonomous CMOS chips are not able to be accessed as part of the striker units when they roll through your neighborhood. And that's why I know how this works, because, again, I read the binomial algorithm down to every single command that it uses with every single phrase and every single JOULE of power and energy out of your bones using piezoelectricity. Amen. They're autonomous. That's what it says. And that's what they are. Project Salus, my parents saw it in 1969, but that's what was running all this COVID stuff, and in the Artificial Intelligence Symposium. Data science, they said. Project Salus, what have we learned? So, do you remember that my husband and your kid are sitting on the couch, those two people, right? And the RF people jam the satellite, and then they run out there and cut off the tower, but the signal's still coming, and so they go to track it, and they're over there by the couch, and they're like, it's coming from here. Yeah, it's coming from the biofield of My husband and your child. So shut it off. How? Stop their DNA. Well, there's only one way to do that, and it's a little more than double tap, isn't it?
It means you would have to burn the body.
That's what you're looking at here. That's why 802.15.4 is a permanent set of biosensor magnets, so that the little Twitter twits thought it would be, so that they could offer everybody the metaverse. Oh, it is. It is. But they don't understand how it works. They think we're killing the planet. They have no idea that geoengineering is finished in 2025 and that none of these plans have been interrupted. They're marching forward lockstep. Everybody's too busy wrapped up in stupid crap and Alex Jones, and then whining and not doing anything about any of this.
Hope you heard that. I'm one of those, hey, y'all are up to a bunch of stupid crap that at the end of the day, all your authenticating and secure party creditor, and I'm going to put my stuff in a trust, and all of the stupid stuff that you've been up to, all of your, I'm trying to get views and please subscribe, and hey, thanks for the whatever they call when you give somebody some death notes for spreading the symptoms of the chaos that's being created by what we're listening to right here. There are some of us that are immune to it all for whatever reason.
Pater Noster, qui in caeli sanctificatur nomen tuum, Movia regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua.
Now, I am going to shut this off, and I am going to bring you to this page here. What is bioengineered food? Bioengineered food is genetically modified food. Genetically engineered food is a food produced from organisms that have had their DNA altered using various methods of genetic engineering. They are feeding you what they want you to eat. And I would, in theory, believe that this is to increase the signal in your body, because it's getting ready to be showtime, folks. Like, you just have no idea. And here we are, still watching football, worried about baseball. Yeah. You ready for the zombie apocalypse? I don't think you are. Let me share something with you here. Okay, and then we're going to get to this. So you folks know there's already British broadcasters, because every time you hear one of these Brits trying to tell you, oh, nothing to see here, I'm telling you right now that they are completely and utterly taken over, and they have no way to defend themselves. Remember, their self-defense was taken from them a long time ago. Same sickness over in Australia going on. Let's pay special attention to this right here. Scientists want to use people as antennas to power 6G. Why? Because your body is pretty great at harvesting wasted energy. That's popularmechanics.com. They're telling you what they're doing. She's telling you what they've done. I'm telling you what they're feeding you. I mean, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. I have an entire kitchen full of nothing but bioengineered crap. Otherwise, I don't know what we would eat. We'll have to starve to death. And wait a minute, they've pretty much genetically modified everything on the planet. We are headed to a very, very bad place. We are in a very, very bad place. And we can either begin to take retribution and do the rebel that we need to do. Because if we don't take the moves to shut this down, if we don't take the move to get the food removed from the shelves immediately, and I don't know what you're going to eat, or if you're going to just sit around and self-poison yourself to increase the strength of the signal of the bioengineered crap that is sitting on the shelves at a grocery store near you. Scientists want to use people as antennas. Can you imagine that? Along with the new Bluetooth low energy that they've now implemented that can use any telephone to triangulate where you are at. For those of you that have seen the movie Gamer, you know what time it is. And you know, where they use prisoners like they were video game characters. And if they survived, they could get set free. Yeah, set free. Another little and here over here, see, they're trying to make her look like a clown, and
it's that background in engineering and computer science that helps her reveal these truths. So in order to help me understand what Sabrina is saying, I've called upon the help of two such evil electronic engineers. And I can certify that both of these people are 100% malicious, so much so that they appear to be denying Sabrina's core premise.
Can you hear the Brit? The Brit trying to tell you nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Along with the other Brit that's exposing Americans as being sovereign citizens. There's just nothing but sovereign citizens that think the law doesn't apply to them. Because you're talking about a conquered people who, at the end of the day, the more they allow, I know there's Brits over there that are trying to resist what's going on, but the ones that are doing this counterintelligence to try to deflect away from what is being shared out here. I mean, does that not look like a photoshopped hairdo? I mean, I don't know. Her hair just didn't look all that puffy. Yeah, the human biofield and the bioengineered food and the neurodivergent sons and daughters out here that have no self-control. Although they're completely aware of what's going on, it's like they're not in control of their own bodies. And it is an epidemic, folks, because there's just practically no one you can talk to that doesn't have or know someone that has this thing labeled as autism, neurodivergency. Neurodivergent?
Well, take that on board, because I'm going to introduce them to you now. The first is my dear friend Chris. He is an actual bona fide electronic engineer.
You hear this? Bona fide. They're the experts. Listen to the science. Get your jibby jab. Get your booster. Put your mask on. It's absurd, people. I think I've shown you enough for now.